Like many of you, I have heard of OLight before in the Second Amendment community, and never really in the best light, no pun intended. Up until now, if you ran your firearm with an OLight weapon-mounted light, that generally meant you spent more time on the subreddit liberal gun owners than actually going out to the range. But what about for EDC, everyday carry? Can an OLight hold up to everyday use for your general light needs off of a firearm? And has their reputation improved over time where we may just need to start considering OLight as a legitimate option? Well, that's what we're going to go over today with the new OLight ArkPro multi-function light. Let's get to it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you did not already know, my name's Jay Costa, and I am just a red-blooded American patriot living behind enemy lines here in the great state of New Jersey. And if you get value after watching this video, please hit that like button down below and also consider subscribing, because still over 80% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. So please consider doing so. It's a free, easy, and quick way to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And in this video, I'm going to give you my review of the newly released ArkPro Light by OLight. I have been carrying this thing for about 3 weeks now since they sent it to me, and I have a lot to say. So let's just cut right to the chase and jump right in. First, I want to cover OLight as a brand, as a company. I'm sure you've heard it before. OLight is a Chinese-based company, and this is made in China, this light. The company was founded in 2007, and OLight since then has massively grown in size, spreading to locations across the globe in multiple countries, including the United States. OLight has sent me this light to review free of charge, but as always, I will do my very best to be fully transparent on my thoughts and opinions of this light, as I always do, and just give you my honest assessment of it. So this is my first OLight product. I was excited actually when they reached out because I was genuinely curious about how their products have improved over time. And frankly, this thing has not disappointed me yet. I've heard a lot of things about OLight in the past in the Second Amendment community, and I wanted to get my hands on one of their products myself, and I'm glad that I did. OLight also offers a lifetime warranty on this light as well as all other flashlights that they sell, and that really gives me a lot of confidence when deciding whether or not I want to carry this every day. So let's jump into this specific light, the ArkPro. This was newly released just recently to be a multifunctional, slim and flat EDC light. It replaced their former bestseller, the ArkFeld Pro. Now, my go-to EDC light for the past handful of years is this thing right here, the Streamlight MicroStream USB. It is a great light. Actually, I just lost my original one in black and picked up this blue one to replace it. It's very simple, it's small, and it has good battery life, and it's cheap. That way, if you lose it, you don't have to feel too bad about it. But it does leave a little bit to be desired. Most notably, it still charges with micro USB. I mean, in 2025, that's almost getting to the point of unacceptable. I mean, you deal with it, whatever, but come on. Also, although it is pretty slim, it's round, like a normal flashlight, instead of flat, like something like this. So you do feel it if it's in your back pocket and you sit on it. You can kind of hide it in the corner of your pocket if you want, but otherwise you can feel it. So needless to say, this is a great light, but I've been looking to upgrade to something with a bit more features, and I think I may have found it with the ArkPro. So let's talk about the construction of this thing and the size of it. The dimensions of this are 4.88 inches long, 1.06 inches wide, and 0.63 inches tall, and it weighs about 4 ounces. The construction is very robust, very nice, made out of 6061 aluminum. It has a 1 meter drop rating and IPX7 waterproof capability. Getting to the features of this thing, the ArkPro, like many other OLight examples, is feature packed. It comes with a 2000 milliamp battery capacity, giving it a maximum battery life of 14 hours on one charge, up to 14 hours, which is very good. Charging can be done one of two ways. First, it has a USB-C under this cover here on the side, which is what I have been using, and it also comes with a proprietary charging base. I personally have not used the charging base, but it may be good for putting it next to your bedside or something like that. Now, because of that charging base, it is actually magnetic on this side of the light, so you can attach it to metal while working and keeping your hands free, which is Very, very cool if you're in a trade of some sort, right? It also has a very, very, very strong and robust double clip. So this is great to hold it really good in your pocket without falling out like my original Streamlight did, as well as being able to clip it with the double clip portion to the top of the brim of your hat, so you could also use it while you're working on something in the dark to keep your hands free. Another great option, and something that you're seeing more and more on the EDC lights nowadays. Now, when it comes to the actual function of the lights, this thing truly shines. Another pun for you guys, I'm sorry. But the cool part about this light is that it's not just any flashlight. It's not just a flashlight. It has 3 light modes. First, it has a floodlight up to 1500 lumens, like that. This floodlight mode is perfect for close-up work or even walking in the middle of the night. It gives a wide field of view and soft exposure to reduce any glare. You also have a spotlight mode, which is also up to 1500 lumens. That's low, medium, high, and then you have turbo, which is the 1500 lumens, and it has 10,640 candela, giving it a very strong intensity on its highest setting, as I just showed you. It also has a range of 205 meters, giving you exceptional performance when you need to shine light and focus on a specific target. Each light mode has different levels of brightness. You have moonlight, low, medium, high, and turbo by double clicking at the end. You also have a UV light at different levels here to show your cleaning lady how much better she can be cleaning your bathroom, and it can also be used to verify documents, find leaks, amongst other things. Lastly, it has a laser pointer, a green laser pointer. This green laser pointer has 2 modes, a class 1 laser pointer and a class 3R laser pointer. This gives you ultimate functionality for every use you could think of throughout your day. Now, what's really cool about this laser pointer here is that it can be used at the same time as the light setting. So let's say you have a light on like that to show something in the dark and you want to point out something like, hey, go get me that Glock 17 right there. You could use both at the same time, and you could do that at the same time as all of the light modes that it has. It also has continuous mode as well as a momentary mode. So if you click it, it just stays on, and click it and it stays off, or if you hold it, it stays on until you let go and then you release it. You also have a strobe light mode, which is not really something I don't think I'll ever use, but maybe if you get stuck on the side of the road and you need an emergency, you can use it. Another very useful feature that this light has is when you click this middle button to turn the light on, you have a battery level as well as, wow, that's actually very hot. Damn, that's a lot of power. When you click that button, it shows the battery level as well as the level of brightness that you have the light set to on the other side. You also have lockout mode. So you press and hold the middle button for a certain period of time and a little lock comes up on the front, and that basically locks out all the features. Perfect if you have kids like me that are constantly grabbing your stuff. I don't want them grabbing this thing and using the light, the laser all over the place, putting it into people's eyes and messing up with the dogs and stuff. Generally a recipe for disaster. So as you can see, this light is ridiculously feature rich. So with the 2 light modes, the UV setting, the multiple different brightness settings each one has, it gives you flexibility and functionality at the highest level. So every situation you could possibly find yourself in, this light will help you. I really like this light. Outside of my YouTube and political career, I am in real estate, and I find it perfect for something like that. You'd be very surprised how handy it can be during, let's say, inspections of houses with no power on a job site, something like that, when you need light and a laser pointer to point out something from like a particular distance in the dark. I would also find this light to be fantastic for a mechanic. I'm thinking of Dave's Auto Center YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. I think he uses maybe the old version of this. You can use the UV light to point out leaks in an engine bay or something, and use the regular light modes and the laser to point out certain parts deep down in the engine bay that you can't, that can't be seen or pointed out without light down there. So if you're a mechanic of some sort, I would definitely consider something like this. I could also see it working perfect, of course, for tradesmen like plumbers, HVAC guys, things of that nature, electricians. You really can't go wrong. This would be a fantastic option for you. That being said, there are some things that could be better. So one thing you do have to consider when deciding whether or not you want to use just like a normal flashlight like this or a multi-function this is more than a light, it's really like a tool at this point, is that the amount of features is amazing, but sometimes it's almost too much to remember, right? I mean, even here I kind of struggled to remember exactly what I have to do to get to each light, to get to each brightness setting. It kind of reminds me of being an early Samsung Galaxy user like 10 years ago, when they were just stacking feature on top of feature to get attention and market share from iPhone users. But in reality, when you got the phone, there was just so many features, you ended up remembering how to use any of them, so you ended up using none. This is similar in a way, because honestly, I forget how to get to the max output. Was it 3 clicks or 2? How do I get that strobe light setting? Was it 3 clicks, or did I have to hold it for a certain period of time? That being said, I've only carried this thing for 3 weeks. Like anything in life, repetition is key. Also, as we usually talk about on this channel, if you don't like supporting Chinese companies, OLight is not going to be for you no matter what. So it is not only made in China, but OLight did start in China in 2007. And for what it is worth, they do have an OLight USA headquarters as of 2016 in Virginia, I believe. But if it's a non-starter, it's a non-starter. Move on to something else. Go get a Surefire. And I think Streamlight makes a couple of their lights in the USA. Also, this thing is a little bit heavy. At about 4 ounces compared to my old light, the MicroStream USB, which is 1.2 ounces, the ArkPro is notably heavier. You do feel it more while carrying it, especially in shorts, but to be fair, with the amount of features this has compared to something like this, it's apples to potato. Lastly, as I have only carried this for 3 weeks and it is my first experience with any OLight product, I can't speak to the durability from it from first-hand experience. Other reviews mention how OLight has much better quality control than they used to have, and these slim EDC lights like the ArkPro and the ArkPro are extremely durable according to these reviews. Battery failures, I have always heard, is an issue with OLight, but with the lifetime warranty, you should be good to go. All in all, I love this light as a real estate professional and just an everyday carry guy. It works perfectly for different scenarios that I may need it in houses, on job sites, as I mentioned, etc. Now, is this a duty level tactical light that you could depend your life on? I would probably say no, but for the everyday man or everyday woman, this is a great option. Just keep the manual because you're gonna need it. Now, you can get this light on OLight's website right now, so click the link in the bio for more information and any discounts we may have. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any experience with OLight in general and what your experience has been. Has it held up to use? Has the reputation gotten better over time? Do you have any experience with the old ArkPro, or are you thinking about upgrading to the ArkPro as you see here? I appreciate it so much for tuning in. Also, if you want one of these t-shirts that I have, J Costa USA, Behind Enemy Lines, click the link in the description box down below to go to my website and go support the channel with some pretty cool gear. I appreciate it so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.